Hello and welcome everybody
Greetings from the present.
The next episode in the continuing saga, The War of Inheritance. Continuing with our long established, and by long established I mean 3 sessions ago, tradition. Jacob, what was the most important thing that happened last session?
We didn't kill a crab, and that's definitely not going to come back to haunt us.
Good choice. David, what was the most important thing that happened
I
last
got
session?
to wrestle a fire elemental in a bath.
You got to wrestle a fire elemental in a bath. Zoe, what's the most important thing that happened last session?
I ate 700 calories worth of chocolate.
And for Freya?
Freya saw Tyndall. Or did she?
She did, or did she? And Amy, what is the most important thing that happened last session?
Neve vaporized a whole load of giant clams in the volcano water with Moonbeam.
Yes, indeed. All right, and we left last session with the party having finally crossed the, frankly, horrendous puzzle room, which was about as nasty as I hoped it would be.
The party resource Symptomatic 5000.
That's right, with the boiling water and rocks. And the party arrived in the hottest part of the island so far. It is a large islet in the middle of a bubbling underground lake. The walls around you are cavernous and made of the same black stone that the building in front of you appears to be made of. You are no longer, any of you, under the influence of the magical effect that hit you as soon as you landed on the island, but you can still feel the heat emanating from the pool outside and from the building in front of you. It is radiating heat. It is steamy and difficult to see. Everything is lightly obscured. And you can still hear the ever-present sound of slow chanting. The waters of the lake have begun to bubble and roil and have started to pick themselves up.
That's bad news.
We need to do this fast.
We need to leave at least one of them alive.
We need to do this fast. And
Did anyone else see Tyndall?
I heard you.
I didn't see Tyndall.
Everybody's been seeing people, have they? Okay.
No?
Volume.
What?
I said everybody's been seeing people. Okay, you haven't. Right, okay.
You didn't see anybody.
No.
Is your
There's
person
a
dead as
spell. Yes.
well? Okay.
So it wasn't real?
It wasn't real.
Tyndall's dead?
No.
We don't know that.
No, he's not dead. But I'm going to kill everyone in that room.
Iris is right, we do need one alive. Let's do this.
All right.
Okay, so
I will say, I'm
I'm
getting
going
a bit
to-
naked without my mail, so I'm not sure how much use I'm going to be to you.
that is absolutely a short rest. Congratulations. It's a brief
So
in-character reaction.
I
You may spend hit dice and recover stuff. You roll
Choose
it.
how many you're going to roll.
She has one left. There we go. You roll it. You gain 10 hit points.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
York will
Takes
roll
me up
his
to
hit
20.
dice that he has left.
Swell.
Seems to be 0.
Monster Munch is on the overhead cam. Stream of the year 2019. And also all other years. Thank you, chat. Yes, there are a series of columns that face the archway, which is the entrance to this building. You can see that the building has some very faded and worn carving. You can't really make out what it is on the outside. Not only is it steamy and hot to get close to, but also it's been worn away by years and years. And there are a set of steps that appear to lead down between the columns.
Is there a door or anything like that? Or?
Down.
Down. Is there a door? No, there is no door. These columns are an open-ended.
Right. Well, we better
Before
get in
we
there
go,
before the water comes in.
Before anybody starts going in, there's a spell I'd like to cast just as we're going in. So just to be clear, before...
Okay, so you'd like to open with this spell. That's fine.
Well, no, I'd like to cast a spell before we open.
Okay, so cast it now. That's fine.
Okay.
You're about to go in and you cast the
I'm
spell.
going to cast Mirror Image on myself.
Sweet. Okay. Iris grasps the
concentration.
No.
Iris grasps the pendant around her neck, and as she steps forwards, she also doesn't. And a version of Iris steps forwards, and in the space immediately that Iris left is Iris, who takes a step to one side and there is Iris, who takes a step to one side, and there is Iris. These forms are all of them a little bit insubstantial, and the steam is passing through them all.
I presume that was meant to happen.
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Says every version of Iris. They're all making identical movements, and moving as they traverse. All 4 strange, misty clones are stepping in and through each other. All of the clones have a slight green hue. And by clones, I mean you can't distinguish the real Iris. All of them have gained a very slight greenish hue.
I am moving in.
Okay.
You're moving in. Lovely.
I'll follow.
Yep.
Yes, we're all heading in.
We will go down.
Excellent. You go head down the steps. You can see that these steps open up into a chamber. And the main issue with this chamber is that it is absolutely full of steam.
Okay.
It is clearly where a lot of the steam in this place is coming from. It's emanating. This looks like the mouthpiece for the volcanic islet, and you may move that indeed, and I will describe what you see. All right, this is what the chamber inside looks like. You see that there are a series of steps, and Jorg has led the way, and about 10 feet down, they continue into a bubbling pool of water. There are 2 more columns, in fact, which I'll put on the map. They are there and there. The columns are submerged and go all the way down to the bottom of the water. The water is very clear.
And very hot.
And very, very hot. You can see, Jorg, that there is a mirrored image. On the one side, it was cast by Iris. On the one side, there is a throne right here. It is a large, ornate throne made out of black stone, and it appears to have flames coming up for the headpiece of the throne. They were sculpted with such amazing artistry that they look like they're moving in the steam. This is set on a walkway that extends around the side of the building. This is the wall, and then inside the wall, you can see a walkway that extends around.
It's not accessible from here. Oh, sorry.
Well, you could go between the columns, that's fine.
Okay.
You can see that the walkway turns into a set of steps, which at about this point begin to descend into the water. So there is a ramp up from the water to the walkway here. There is a large fresco with a piece of artwork that you cannot quite make out right here. And then on this side, there is a throne in exactly the same style, except that it has cresting waves at the top of it and is fully submerged. There is also a clear presence in the room. There is a shifting movement from within the water, and you can still hear the sound of chanting.
Is the chanting coming from the water?
Perception check.
That is 18.
18? No, the chanting is not coming from the water.
Okay.
It's echoing inside the chamber. Hello, York says? York says hello, and hello echoes and is muffled. Very strange. It's muted by the steam, but also you can hear it reverberates inside the chamber. This chamber's walls have been worn smooth, and it, as a consequence, is a really excellent resonant chamber.
Divine sense.
Divine sense. Sweet. Okay, so Jorg says hello, and his eyes shimmer briefly. Jorg, you are aware of a creature that is both within and is the water inside the pool.
Okay.
It is, on a divine sense, your heat vision comes over and you can see this entity, this powerful, magical entity, and you can feel its pain and its rage. Roll me a perception check, please. Roll me an arcana, in fact, is what I want you to roll.
Even worse. Probably not. 7.
No.
No.
That's fine. On a 7, that is the information that you gather. 60 feet is divine sense, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ha! Okay. You also discern, you can feel it through the outside wall of this
If
cavern.
it has total cover, it doesn't affect it.
If it has total cover, it doesn't affect it, so you have to be able to physically see
I
it.
have to be able to see at least part of it.
Okay, that's fine. But I've done presences before. You can feel something else and something alien to you. You have not encountered anything like this before, but it is pinging your divine sense somewhere this way.
Neve, the water is an elemental and it's in a lot of pain and suffering. And there's something out the back wall.
Neve, this is the divine wellspring. This is the source of the magic in the area. And there is an elemental inside.
I'm going to shift out of the way onto you so I can come through here.
That's fine, you can do that, no
problem.
problems at all.
To get out of Neve's way. Neve, this is your party, but we need it to stop, and we need it to stop now.
I'm gonna.
Oh, there are other. Now you have headed here. Freya, I'll put some things on the map. You can see, you would have seen these as well, but since
15
people.
billion elementals.
No, there are not 15 billion elementals. There are things that I have put somewhere and not found. I will get them in a second. Here we go. Right. You can see that there are, in fact, Freya, I will let you get there in just a second. There are a series of chests over on this side of the walkway. They are large, but you can make your way around them.
Okay. I mean, I'll go to the opposite end, I guess.
Okay, so you, Freya nimbly makes her way.
I'm just going to glance over at you. It's not the time.
That's
not
fine.
the time.
Neve,
I know, not the time.
what would you like to do?
Let Neve try and fix this.
I'm gonna head down very carefully and very respectfully to the water's edge. And I am going to. Just gotta try. I was gonna spend a spell slot, and I'm just gonna do it. I'm going to do a cure wounds into the water, sending a gentle healing energy out to see how the water elemental responds to that.
Okay. So you reach down and you touch the water.
Bye, spell slot.
The cure wounds, as you spread it from your hand, you can feel that the damage the water does you as you touch it is healed by the energy you are pushing through your palm. So you do not take a bunch of nasty fire damage from this creature. However, your presence is detected and immediately you feel that the pain and rage that this creature has is being stoked within it. And there's depth here and you're not sure what it is, but it also doesn't feel like this creature is wholly in charge of its own actions.
Oh.
Which may be little comfort as it attacks.
Ah,
Josh,
Yes.
query, as before we go to initiative.
We're not necessarily going to
Okay. Is there anything... You said there was a presence at the back wall. Are there any doors or anything over here, or is it just...
It is a flat wall.
And is it the fresco, or is it beyond that?
Beyond the fresco.
Right.
There is a water.
Wow! So pretty.
The creature that appears before you is made of water. The water of the pool twists, froths, and surges up, and it is never static. It moves as crashing waves, and you can see that it is forming and reforming, transitory but very much there, as it swirls itself up and slams in towards you. Neve, I'm very sorry. Would the... No, there we go. All right. What is your armor class, please?
My armor class is 13.
13, okay. This is good. The elemental picks itself up and in a wave crashes down onto you. Delivering you...
Doing really
Yeah, I'm doing
badly
really
with the dice
excellently.
coming off the table.
Delivering you 24 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down. I'm down. I am unconscious.
There is a huge wave of water that picks up and slams into the Lady Neve, who is pulled some of the way down the steps and into the water.
My response is to immediately drag her out.
Sweet.
I will move down. I will grab her by the back of the collar. I will drag her out of the water and put a cure wounds into her.
Make me an initiative check, please. I'm going to use this fight out of initiative, and I'm going to use initiative to determine whether you get to do your thing before something else takes precedence, because I think that's a more fun way to use the initiative system. On a 2, that's fine. Sweet. So you absolutely grab Neve and you pull her out, but not before Neve you have failed a death saving throw.
Okay.
Amy, could you please heal? That's cocked. Which shouldn't happen. 2 plus. It is plus
Yeah.
spellcasting modifier 5.
5 hit points. You are no longer dying.
I'm no longer dying.
And you are stable. However, your skin is raw, and you have felt the malevolent force. That said, as the elemental attacks you, please make me a hello, Li-Fi, welcome. Please make me a Arcana check. It is. Sorry.
I'm good at Arcana.
Sweet.
I'm the first to ask, and I get a nat 20.
All right, on a natural 20, Neve, as the creature's eyes appeared briefly in froth and foam, and it slammed you back into the steps with a wave of itself. As the searing pain racked your body and you felt yourself lose consciousness, there was a connection from the creature to you. And it spoke one word, and that word was help.
Okay.
I think there's something out the back of this place.
The water elemental, it's under somebody else's control. It doesn't want to attack. It needs help.
Alright, I'm running towards wherever York is pointing.
I'm going to start running around.
Okay, you've pointed, that's fine, but everyone else gets to go first.
No, it's fine. Round the back of the building.
Oh, okay.
Around the back.
The chests. Okay.
Freya, what do you do?
I am going to attempt to follow York out and around.
Sweet. So, Freya, you are spry and cartwheel over Yorg and begin to make your way around the side.
120 feet if you
dash,
dashes
yeah.
and then takes a bonus action to dash.
Yeah, you can move crazy far. However, you can run around the side. How are you doing this? With speed, stealth, what are you doing?
A bit of stealth. I don't want to get destroyed like Neve just was.
Okay, so Freya, you are able to you run round to the corner of the building. Please place yourself. You've gone this way. So
She's gone out.
Gone
No,
out and
I
around.
need to go back.
Which way around are you going? Which corner, please?
I guess this one.
Okay, sweet. So you come to here, and I will allow you to make me a hide action around the corner of the building. It is not thick enough steam here to make the hide action. This is not mechanically possible. Please make me the hide action.
What do I roll?
It is a stealth check.
Because you're a stealthy ninja.
19.
On a 19, you know that people should be able to see you, but you are confident that you're just really good at this. This is coming innately to you. And you seem to step and sidestep in time with the random buffets of steam that are in the room. And you believe that you are sneakily coming around the corner. And you see a bunch of fun things. You see that there is coiled a creature with dark pink skin. It looks a bit like the salamander that you faced earlier. It is a twisted, large serpentine creature. But where the salamander had the bottom torso of an eel and the upper body of a human, this creature has the bottom torso of an eel and the upper body of a nightmare. Its face has a star-shaped sphincter-like mouth and a series of tentacles hanging off of it.
Bouncing on it.
It is busy invoking. It is chanting, and as you see, its gross mouth keeps moving open and making strange guttural sounds that you have heard before. There are also, standing beside it, a pair of, they are human, and they are standing completely inert and stock still, right next to it. Okay. They are blistered and red and raw. but do not appear to be doing anything other than that. This is the model I'm going to use for the Twisty Serpent bin, because that's just what I'm using. These are the 2 humans.
So is the Twisty Serpent thing human size?
The Twisty Serpent thing is human size, that is correct. And
So it's not as big as the salad?
No, but it looks like that. It's an eel-shaped thing with a horrible mouth. It's also got 2 nearly white, bulging eyes.
Okay. If no one else is going to do anything straight away,
I will be trying to follow Freya around, but she's very much got the drop on me here.
I'm going to shoot it in the mouth.
The Twisty Serpent thing?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. You have advantage because you are attacking from hidden.
In the face.
So
you roll
So
twice.
you roll twice.
And take
Oh,
the
yeah.
best.
Which also gives you sneak attack damage.
Well, but that's so that's an 11 plus whatever your
Plus.
pluses are.
I've forgotten completely.
So what's your dexterity?
It's on your
Three,
character sheet. Do not do this
14.
massive session. It's on your character sheet.
It is...
You should have.
16.
16, thank you. Okay, so you reach round the side, see this disgusting, weird aberration, and you level your crossbow at it and sink a bolt straight through it. Roll me some damage, please.
No.
With sneak attack.
And plus 10, I assume.
5.
That was not sharpshooter.
Oh, was it not?
14.
Uh,
16. 19.
19.
That would have been 11 with sharpshooter, and that wouldn't have been, I'm pretty sure.
19 points of damage is quite a lot. Okay, the creature's chanting is temporarily halted as it takes a crossbow bolt that goes straight through one of its tentacles on its face. You aimed for the middle of the head, you didn't quite get it, but you did slide off one of its long, stringy,
Talk
pink
with a crossbow bolt through your
protrusions.
mouth, can you?
It drops onto the ground and it is slappering one side and the other. It is gross. It turns. It fails to see you. It continues its chanting slightly faster. Inside the room, there was a momentary cessation as the waters calmed back down and then once again begin to boil and pick themselves
Round the back, round the back, round the back.
up. Iris.
Okay, I'm going to say, Neve, stay and try and control the water elemental, and I'm going to cast Sanctuary on you.
Okay, so as long as I don't attack.
Yep. Then it needs to take wisdom saving throws when it's going to attack.
Gotcha.
That's a bonus.
Oh
action.
no, Josh's only weakness.
That's a bonus action. Okay.
And then I'm going to run after Freya.
Okay.
Josh's only weakness at wisdom saving throws.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so Iris and Iris and Iris and Iris all head out and start running after Yorg and towards around this way.
If Freya went round that way, I'm going around the other side of the building, just from a perspective of...
Okay, that's fine. You'll
Yeah,
start making your way.
I'm currently there, but it's fine.
The 2 humans turn and start making their way around different sides of the building. So one of them goes this way, and one of them goes that way. Would you like, Freya, please, to make me another stealth check as one of them goes straight past you?
I got a 1.
You've got
Nat
a
one.
natural.
Which adds up to 8.
It's a nat 1.
That is unfortunately a natural 1, so it doesn't really matter what it adds up to.
The human turns around the corner, and you're just there. You were stood and you go, yes. You can see this human now is closer. He's clad in a stylish black cloak, has a pair of crossbows on a belt, has a quiver of bolts on his back, and draws a blade that shimmers and swings in towards you. Does a... Right. No, it doesn't, is the answer. Does a 13 hit you?
No.
Right, okay. So the human swings in towards you, and you step back, but you see it cuts through the mist. That happened. It's the elemental. Neve, the elemental, once again under the thrall of this chanting, which is echoing throughout the entire area, is going to
Take a wisdom saving throw.
Take a wisdom saving throw is what it's going to do.
DC 14.
DC 14. Is that every time it makes an attack?
Yep.
Yeah. Attack or a harmful spell.
Right, okay, fine. It fails to make an attack or a harmful spell. So
Washes up against the edge of the sanctuary.
washes up, and you see the water level begin to rise, and it crashes against the pillars, and it washes over the sanctuary. Neve, you are moved over. And the water elemental is going to appear this way. You have started to make your way around this side, and the water elemental is now, you can see, it's still connected to the water, but there's like a bridge rolling over Neve. That was that. Let's see.
I'm not down.
Thank you.
Iris, what would you like to do?
Hey, Amy.
Oh, me.
Dice.
Okay.
We've got dice.
One of those.
We've only got one left.
Ooh, yeah. Good call. Can I? So this guy, has he come round the corner now? Is he sort of this side?
He's approached. He's sort of there. Is where he is.
Okay, fine. So I can, when I come round, I'll be able to see him.
That's correct.
So,
You can see that there is a human dressed all in black with a silvery blade who is swinging in towards the Lady Freya.
okay, I will. Okay, that's good. I'm going to come up and I'm going to cast suggestion. I'm going to suggest that he drops the silvery blade. Even better. So it's one word, isn't it? It's a course of activity. Okay. Stop fighting.
Yes, okay. Right. How does
As
this...
Josh tries to work out how the mind control works.
Okay, you need to take a... So long as you are not immune to charm,
Right.
creatures that are charmed can't be charmed or immune to this effect. So as long as you can be charmed, you need to take a wisdom saving throw DC 14. Josh has one weakness.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw DC 14. It rolls a 16.
Okay, well, nothing happens.
But that is a... There is... Okay, so... You don't see the effect of this. You feel, Iris, you speak a word. In fact, you speak your phrase, and the words leave your tongue laced with an arcane power. Freya, you see the human in front of you that's raising its blade. It's looking at you really impassively, and it's swinging in, and it freezes mid-swing. And there's a brief moment where some grim pink matter falls out of its nose, and then is sucked back up.
If there's an opportunity, I'm going to try and cut his arm off.
Okay, there's been an opportunity there. Go for it, Freya.
Yes.
You'll be on that.
16.
16 hits. Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
You have sneak attack.
7.
You're the only one standing next to
Yeah,
him.
you got sneak attack. 'Cause
7. Oh, damn.
Yeah, he's the only one near him.
13, and again.
14. 18.
18 points of damage.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm aiming for
the
his
deeps.
So you're aiming for the wrist.
Yeah.
You did
Well,
not do it.
it's an
Sorry, I've got way too much. I need more space. Fine. 18 points of damage is a lot, actually. Fine. Leave it. Right. Yorg.
So question 1, have I spotted this guy?
You are... make the initiative check. That's exactly what it's for. Well. There we go.
50.
Sweet. Are you coming running round?
So again, that depends if I spotted
Are
him.
you coming running round? Is
Yes.
the question. Right. Sweet. You almost barrel into each other and stop for a moment. You have the initiative, but you go, oh, okay, there's a creature here.
That's absolutely fine.
You see, this creature is in a very battered-looking suit of armor.
Yeah.
And it is a knight of some kind.
Sir Darius,
The insignia long since fallen off.
Okay. Is it acting in an aggressive fashion towards me?
Are you taking a second to find out? Immediate reaction. There's a strange
No,
knight
there's a
towards
guy
you.
here, and this is dodgy as shit. Yeah, that's fucking love to do.
Sweet.
There's things and stuff and things, and that probably misses. 10.
10. Okay, so it raises a shield, which you hack some of the shield off. This thing's armor is falling apart, but it is sufficient to turn the blow.
Okay.
It is going to have a go at you.
Oh no, my only weakness.
Athletics check, please.
That I might survive. Let's give that a go. I mean, not if I roll a 2.
Oh.
So that's an 8.
It grabs you and it throws you both
Yeah.
off the pool. Please take me 2d6 points of fire damage. York is barreled into the water.
Gosh, this is really important.
Watch out for the crab.
Roll the
You
dice.
need to roll the dice on this one.
Please take me 5 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Are you conscious?
Yep.
That's good.
Is there some bullet roll somewhere?
Somewhere, yes.
Happy accident.
Excuse me. You will note, chat, I have my player killing goatee on.
No, this is the just from the goatee dimension.
Yeah, that's it.
I wonder what that muffled noise was from.
Alright, Iris is gone. Yours is gone. Freya's gone. Neve!
Yes.
This water elemental is stretching. You can see that it has drained some of the water in the pool. There is a hole in the centre that you can now make visible where water is coming from.
Gotcha.
And it is stretched in a great serpentine arc over the top of you, and it is starting to spiral around the edge of the building. It looks now like a long Chinese dragon made of water.
Does cantrip count as an attack?
It depends if you attack
Oh,
it.
actually, this cantrip cannot be used as an attack. I am going to shape water to try and move or slow the progress of this water elemental over the top.
I like the using the technicalities against it. It can't be an attack. It's not an
Please
attack.
make me a Arcana check.
Arcana check.
That's correct.
Okay.
Magic.
20. Not natural.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Wow. So the water elemental surges forwards, and there's a sudden moment as it freezes against your arms, and the ice sparks through it, and there's a thin line of white as the ice freezes and crystallizes inside the body of the water elemental, and you grab hold and pull backwards, and it is sucked temporarily down and pulled back. Yeah, that's awesome. How much does it enjoy that? It doesn't enjoy that at all. So you pull the water elemental, and its form cannot hold against the pressure of your shape water and the push that it's giving, and it collapses into a pool of water once more, all over you.
It's alright, I've got my sanctuary.
Please make me a strength saving throw?
A strength saving.
That is correct.
That's not good. 5.
The water coalesces around you, and you are lifted in the water. The sanctuary is protecting you from the boiling nature of it. However, can you please take me, this is not great news, 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm down.
And there is a moment as the water elemental splashes down over Neve. I'll make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. You do not take the damaging effect of this because that is not an
of course, because
you have sanctuary. So you do not take any damage, but you are lifted up, and you are currently held afloat in a sphere of water.
Which sphere dies first is the question here.
Can you breathe water?
Not yet.
That's a thing you need to think about there. That is where it is currently occupying your space. You can feel everywhere around you. You can see like you're looking through a foot-thick sheet of water. Everything is blurry and indistinct.
Okay.
You can hear the chanting, and it seems louder inside this sphere now.
Yeah.
And you are...
Do I have to make a wisdom saving throw?
Ooh, that's fun, but...
Or am I now immune to the effects of this spell?
You're immune because you passed already.
Great.
But that's a cool idea. Thank you. I like it. Yes, you are grappled and in the elemental space and unable to breathe.
Cool. Okay. I will deal with that.
Again, possibly not grappled. Feathers.
I'm in a bubble of water.
That's
I'm in a
fine.
bubble of water.
It's got a cool ability, and I'm going to use it.
Alright, cool. That is my turn.
Okay.
I did my turn.
But it's not going to do damage until it can pass a wisdom save.
In fact, I did my turn, and that is the water elemental's turn.
Sweet. So, York, you're up.
I need to get out of this fucking water right fucking now.
I want to see
I
this.
am just gonna. I need to get out of this water right now. I'm gonna kick this thing off me and attempt to climb up. Like
Please make me an
that's all it
athletics
is.
check to escape the grapple.
19.
Nice.
It's alright, Josh.
I roll a 20.
That's fine. How much damage do I take?
Okay. Can you please take me 8 points of fire damage?
My last thoughts as I drift unconscious is an apology for not fulfilling what I said I would towards a man.
You struggle and strain against this human, but unlike you, it hasn't taken its armor off.
Yeah.
It is holding you, and it starts sinking deeper. You struggle and you push and you flail, and the heat is becoming unbearable. Your eyes swim, your vision goes dark and murky, and with a word of apology to Elaine, you pass out. Cool. That has happened.
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure or nothing. It's all good. Freya.
I am going to again try and hack this guy's hand off first.
Okay.
Is it opposed initiative?
Yeah, it's post initiative.
17.
You win.
Is that my initiative? or
You
my-
get to
No,
hit him before
now
he
you get
hits
to hit
you.
him. Roll to attack.
You're the only person
21.
standing next to him, so you have
21, you
advantage.
hit. No, not advantage. You can use sneak attack.
Okay.
Yeah. So you hit. Yes, you hit
I
this
don't
guy.
have advantage because I am the only person within 5. Oh, I
It doesn't give you advantage. It gives sneak attack. Yeah, go for it.
6, 11, 13, 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, so
If he's not dead, I'm going to try and run past him and get as close as I can.
I think he may
To
be
the
dead
next
already,
thing.
if I'm honest.
If he is dead, I'm going to try and pick up his sword. It
okay.
looks cool.
On an 18,
Yeah, it's glittering.
what are you using to make this attack? Your cutlass.
Yeah.
Sweet. You hack into this creature with your cutlass, and its worn armor cuts straight through. You see bits of its inside start to fall out. It drops its sword. Make me a reflex save to catch the sword. Dexterity saving throw. DC 10.
8.
8 is not enough to catch the sword. The sword goes clank onto the ground.
You
Okay.
definitely have that trained.
Yeah, and so you add things to
Oh, 10.
10 is enough. You swing your cutlass in, it gets stuck in the ribcage of this creature. Insides start to spurt out, and gouts of warm blood cover your arm. And it drops
I'll let
its...
go of that one.
So you let go of that one and catch the silvered saber. Very cool. However, as the creature dies, the human dies, the strange pink thing inside its nose starts to force its way out.
Oh, so
There is a
gross.
bulging at the eyes as this creature's eyes almost pop out of its head, and a horrible wriggling as a lumpen mass of pink tentacles. It looks like if you took a brain and you stretched it all the way out. So instead of it being all messed together, it was one horrible long, large intestinal string that was moving, worms its way out of this creature's nose.
Oh,
That happened. Iris.
I believe before that happens, Zoe asked to move past.
Yeah.
After,
Yeah.
After
Sweet, that's fine, yeah.
I'm just going as far as I can towards the...
Yep. So you can run round
Bleed.
this way. This creature is so you've got an attack and a move. You can make a hide action if you like, as a
Yeah,
bonus
I'll
action.
I'll attempt to. 24. 24.
24. You are standing behind nothing. You are not in any cover, and yet as you move, the steam appears to disguise you. The creature is unaware of you, and you will get advantage on your next attack. Iris. There is a lumpen. It's just a mass. It looks like someone has taken a bowl of tapioca and just poured it onto the floor.
Okay, I know what might be relatively effective against that.
It's like someone's brains have just fallen out their nose.
As a bonus action, I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath on myself,
That might be quite funny.
Okay,
which again is concentration.
right. This is fun. So you
And
take a deep breath.
I take a deep breath and then vent forth. What is it? It's 15 foot, so I was stuck to within 15 foot of it, and sort of vent forth
Oh no, it's a splat monster.
Yeah.
It's not right.
Yeah,
Sure.
sure. Benforth, so could it please take me a dexterity saving
I
throw?
seriously
How
doubt.
dexterous is a long intestine?
Why? +2 is the
Okay,
answer.
DC 14.
13 is not enough. 11 plus 2 is
just.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
So
Okay.
then 9, 10 acid damage.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you deal this thing 10 acid damage, and like half of it just melts. It looks like this thing is largely water. There is a spray from Iris, who took a deep breath in and belches out gouts of gaseous green flame.
Wow.
It splurges along the side of this island, scarring and pitting the black stone surface of the structure, gouging scores into the earth, and melting some of the creature. If it could scream, it would scream. It cannot
Its
scream.
tentacles are going like.
Well, half of it just kind of deflates, and it begins to try and get away from you as quickly as it's able. It goes. I'm sorry for what's about to happen.
Your
Okay.
hide check was too good.
Yes, but Iris is going before you there, but Freya's going before you.
I think that's probably opposed initiative.
Neve, I think it is. Neve.
Okay, so I'm trapped in a sphere of water.
That is correct.
I am going to try and maneuver myself out using my staff against the side of the pillars to move myself out of this and
That's
see if that
really
works.
cool. Please make me a strengths
Oh,
check
nice.
with advantage.
Strength with
or
advantage.
athletics?
Oh no, it's, athletics with advantage.
Okay, that's still not great. So that is 10.
10 is what you get. Okay.
Take it.
Would it like-
Sadly,
Would it like to take me a wisdom saving throw?
it would like to take your wisdom saving throw. 10, 11, 12. 12 is not enough. Okay, so you reach out against one of the pillars, you brace your staff, and there's a... And Neve, you are propelled out of the water.
Ooh.
You are bracing into the pillar, and you go...
If you keep vomiting
And you-
stuff like that, your teeth get
fly that way,
Okay.
and you land on the ground. Hard, but don't take any damage.
Cool.
The water elemental is deeply annoyed with you. It is, I think, who's the most relevant person to do right
It's
now?
the opposed initiative here, surely.
That seems pretty likely. Freya and Iris, would you please take me both opposed initiative checks? That's not a time to roll that, Freya. What do you get?
Huh? Oh, I'm mental maths. 14.
14 is pretty good.
18.
18 is better. Iris, what do you do? You run around the corner and you can
I'm
see
gonna-
there's some thick steam in front of
Yep.
you, and this twisted abomination.
Absolutely.
No, she doesn't get a spot check because you're running it as the fact that you need to spend an action to do so to make the high action worthwhile.
That's correct.
That is.
Yeah, running around, Dragon's Breath persists. It's a concentration spell, so I'm going to run around and breathe another gout.
Oh no, Freya.
Sadly, catching both.
TPK. Okay.
Oh.
Freya,
Can I
Freya,
attempt to dodge?
yes, you very much can. You need to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, you're good at this.
16.
You take half damage.
This thing really fails its dex save.
Roll low.
That's 4. 9. Half of 9 is 4. So you take 4, it takes 9.
Okay. You see Iris, you hear footsteps behind you that echo in the cavern with the same bubbling of the water, which is still continuing to rise on the outside. The ledges are getting narrower and narrower. Iris runs round the corner, takes a breath in as if she's going to shout something to you, and suddenly you are enveloped in this green smog breath that belches over you.
You managed to duck
I'm going
down.
to do as much as I can to not reveal myself.
Okay, in which case you step to one side and you see this strange mass of tentacles is absolutely eviscerated.
Oh.
And Iris, you managed to step behind the thing, and so you were spared the brunt of the attack. However, Iris, you're now up. Freya, sorry. Iris is
So while I'm hidden, I have advantage.
You do have advantage.
In which
on
case,
this.
I am going to use my marksman.
Yep.
I'm going to attempt again. I'm just going to try and shoot it in the mouth.
Do it.
Oh, same
Six.
both times.
6 on both.
What do you get in total?
6.
Six what you get.
Cancel that,
Okay.
please.
6 is insufficient on this creature, and the chanting continues. The water level has started. You can all feel it has begun to rise. Yorg.
Fail a death saving throw?
Fail a death saving throw, and take me a death saving throw.
Because of the damage.
Because of the damage.
That's, I don't believe I get to take one.
Yes,
so
you
I
do.
take- Oh, okay.
Because it's your
So
turn.
it's
you
start
take
your
a death
turn, you
saving
take a death saving throw.
Okay.
You then take one.
Oh,
you
yes, I
damage.
take one because of the damage.
Yeah.
And then, yep, that's fine. Nope.
Good stuff. However, the human who was grappling you is no longer grappling you and has pulled himself desperately onto the shore and is panting like this.
Presumably he's taken some fire damage.
He's taken a whole bunch of fire damage. His skin is yet. I mean, you saw he was blistered before. Neve, you are there and can see and are going to go. And you see out of this human that he. And it's like a horrendous sneeze. And
Worst
out
sneeze.
comes a lump of pink tentacles. And they come out of his nose in 2 spurts. The first one is like this disgusting protrusion. It's slimy and it's pink and it slops onto the floor with a... And then you see the creature collapses. The human is no more. Still, yeah, it's fine. It's still a map, but...
Could you pass me the thing?
the what?
The other thing, the elemental.
The
one.
splat monster.
The splat monster.
Oh, would you want to play it?
No, I was going to put it here.
The
What more I would like to put it on the map.
That's your new PC.
It is there.
Yeah, it's very
York,
see.
take this behind Jacob's back. He can't see what it is. Do not show anybody.
Oh no.
That is the creature. You are now playing it.
It's fine, I'm sure.
Is it my go?
It is a post initiative between you and this creature to see which of you gets to act. I get a 1. You go first.
Yeah, I get a nat 20. I really go.
You really go. On a nat
I-
20, it costs you no action to stand up. You leap up and have your full move.
I am going to shake water.
Yep.
Some of the water that is rising.
Yep.
In a wave over this thing.
That's really cool. I'm
It's
happy
hot
to
water.
use that. That's fine. You don't
See
need
if
to
it
roll.
Does any fire damage to it?
I will tell you right now, this is going to drop your sanctuary.
It's not an attack.
Because this absolutely is an attack.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Fine.
Hand it back.
Yeah, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die.
Oh, wow, okay. Boxcars. David,
Yo.
please lose 12 hit points on your monster that you're playing.
Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
There's a Josh, it's fine. Take it, run it. It's fine.
Sure.
I was asking because I wanted to put
Sure.
the thing on.
There's a wave of water, and this creature is flattened by it. Literally flattened. It's like an octopus that's just gone blam and is now flat, and then picks itself back up. But it is significantly.
Has it
weakened.
taken damage?
Taken loads of
Amazing.
damage.
Can
That
still
is-
move.
that
You've
is
got a
really
move action
good
and
to
an
know.
interact and a bonus action, all kinds of fun things.
Can I see Yorg in the water?
Perception check. Very important perception check.
That is a 18.
Yes.
No, stop.
Right.
Yorg is floating on the water currently.
Shit. I'm going to move over then and drag him out of the water.
Yep, that will be either athletics or acrobatics because he is not immediately adjacent to the water. You'll have to reach him.
7.
Okay, so on a 7, you will pull him out, but you will take some damage.
Fine. I'll
Um,
just have to deal with that.
you can take me d6 points of damage. You can take me 4 points of damage,
Okay,
please.
cool. I just survived.
How many hit points you got left?
1.
That's good.
It's going well.
Neve, with your
Your 2 death saves up on me.
you reach out and
Have a
you
hit point.
You pull with your staff.
Yeah.
Your staff is much the worse for wear for having gone in the water several times.
Yeah.
But you have pulled Yorg, and with a creak, Yorg's body rolls up onto the side. He's going to need some serious attention. He is blistering and in a very bad way. But that
I've got
means you
stuff.
need.
I've got stuff.
This creature is going to continue to chant. Go, water elemental, go. The water elemental is going to. Alright, it's post initiative from Yorg, who probably wants to roll low. Neve and the water elemental.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah, because we finished initiative round, so.
Alright. 14?
12.
12, and the water elemental
Finally, minus dex helps.
gets an 11. Useful. So you do not have to take a death save yet. On a 14,
I
me.
go.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to pour a healing potion into
I
your.
don't believe you have
You
any
have
healing
no
potions
healing
left.
potions left.
They were all
Freya
used
used
on-
them both.
Boo. Then I am
Sorry.
going to. Can I upcast Cure Wounds?
You can, but you don't need to. Oh, unless you only have second level spell slots left, in which
I
case,
only have one spell slot left.
and it's a second level. Then,
not
yeah,
gonna
you
say no
can,
to
then
two
yes,
D8
you can
rather than one.
upcast
Can
Cure
I
Wounds.
share it between two people?
Arcana check.
Okay. Because that would be super useful. No idea.
On a natural 1, no, you may not.
That's really sad. Then I'm gonna give it to York. So what does that do?
Hello, Browmans.
1d8 plus my.
Welcome to the
experience.
TPK.
Yeah.
In progress. For those just joining us, our paladin has failed 2 death saving throws. Our druid has got one hit point left and has just dropped the sanctuary I cast on.
And
her.
used her very last spell to upcast Cure Wounds and heal 2 points of damage from 2d8. Oh!
It's really sad.
Plus,
Plus 5.
so heal 7.
The most
Well, on
important.
this side of the map, we're all pretty.
Things are going really well.
Yeah.
You're shooting
Actually-
fire at me. It's
Well, it was acid, to be fair,
Okay,
and you
fire
weren't
is
there
acid.
as far as I can
Okay,
tell.
so that has occurred. York.
So 5 in total.
No,
7.
7.
York. There is.
What the fuck is this? Smack. The snot monster that's next to me.
Oh, yeah, it gets to roll because you're incapacitated.
What do I?
But was it? It gets
No,
rolled.
it's
Should
not
have been on the
incapacitated.
initiative track.
It's gonna.
He's not
No,
incapacitated
no, you're
anymore.
not. It's going to be an attempted opposed initiative. It's fine. It rolls a 5. I just wanted to see if you would heal
Before or after?
before or after.
It's quite important.
That's really important right there.
Actually, I'm gonna
That
lump.
would have been death.
I'm gonna lump the snot monster
Do
next
it.
to me.
Okay.
You know what? We're gonna.
The great mass of pink tentacles has started to ride over Yorg, and as you heal Yorg, and the thing crawls up and starts to put its tentacles into his nose.
Gross!
quick, shut your nose.
You are flanking this thing.
20.
20 is enough. You hit the thing, roll some damage.
11.
Yorg reaches round and grabs the axe Thunder from inside his belt and swings it across his body. He's still prone on the ground, and there's a horrible pink thing on him, and it's a. This thing is sliced into not quite 2, more like 20, as a horrible, blubbery
Oh.
set of pink, tentacly gross squelches all over you. You have to pull 2 of the long tentacles out of your nose, and you can feel them against like the
Stop. We're good. It dead?
It is dead.
I'm
Congratulations.
just gonna put that over there. I'm gonna use. Is it full movement to stand up or half?
Half.
I'm gonna stand up and then I'm going to directly interpose myself between Neve and the water elemental.
You're cool. That's the way to do it. Okay, so there was that. Now the water elemental is going to come over both of you as it. Oh, guys, stop being children. The water elemental is going to surge and froth all over your faces as there's a wave and it crests up. Yes.
Turn undead?
Do you have turn undead?
Challenge ability turn. I don't know whether it. We've
Is it
had
an
discussions around this, and it is an action, but as a defensive measure, I'd quite like
a reaction.
as a reaction to as an instinctive reaction to getting eaten by a water elemental.
Do
You're
you
cool.
have inspiration?
I don't. That's fine. No, if it's no, it's no. I thought I'd blank.
Make me a.
Religion?
No. Okay. You want to
Survival.
That seems fitting. The elemental raises up, and it's maybe 20 foot tall now. This thing is huge. It slithers in and out of the columns, and then charges towards you.
Sleight of hand.
How does turn undead work, please? What do I have to do? I make a saving
It's a
throw.
wisdom
or something.
save.
With your wisdom
I think
save.
it's a wisdom save. 1 second, I'm going to check this.
Oh, dude, if you want to use the ability, you've got to have it open on the page. I roll a 3. The creature fails its save, whatever it is.
As a wisdom saving throw,
Yeah.
turn for a minute. It It cannot move towards me and must spend its turns trying to move as far away from me as it possibly can, and can't willingly move into a space within 30 feet of me. It can also take...
It must spend its movement moving as far away from you as it can.
Yes. A turn creature must spend its turns trying to move as far away from you as it can, and it can't willingly enter a space within 30 feet of me.
Right. There is a great bubbling from the water elemental. It surges and roils, and you can see things that look like tears rolling down its face as it turns and retreats into the pool.
I think... actually, no, because Yorg's not wearing his armour. I think the symbol of Elaine on Yorg's chest actually starts to glow and emits a blinding pulse of... Sorry, chat. A blinding pulse of light into the elemental's face and drives it back.
Yeah, it retreats before the onset. It's turned for a minute now.
A minute.
Okay, yep, it flees from your holy light. But you are not doing anything for its rage. That is merely building. As the light of Elaine glows, Neve, you feel the pain of this creature. You feel it. This creature is tormented. It's being tortured, and it is looking for an outlet for that. So that was all of this. Iris.
We need to stop the chanting.
Having now realised that Freya was there, I'm going to move up, so standing next to her.
Sure.
So this thing is in range of the dragon's breath. Could it take my dexterity saving throw?
No, it can't.
10. 12 points of damage.
Okay.
Acid, it matters.
The creature turns to you. It starts trying to slither away, but you see it's holding a pair of things in its claw-like hands. It's holding them, and it's moving them as it chants, and half of its face has been seared away by the acid. It loses a couple more of its tentacles, one of its big white bulbous eyes that look like the kind of eyes of a deep underwater fish. One of its eyes has been wrinkled in on itself, and it looks scarred and pitted from the acid that has come to it. And it pauses for a second, then it continues chanting and knocks the things together some more.
It pauses for a second.
It does pause for a second, continues chanting. And it's going
where
to...
are you going? I'm shooting him.
That's fine. You can shoot it as it retreats. That's fine.
Am I still hidden?
I'd actually advise walking up to it and stabbing it if you're not hidden, because you'll get...
Shoot it.
You'll
That's what you said you were going to do. You said you were going to do.
Am I still hidden then?
Well, apparently not, because Iris can see you. So.
When you make an attack, don't you stop being hidden?
You do, yes.
Oh, indeed. Okay, so I
But you
will...
could take a bonus action to
But
hide.
she hadn't made an attack yet.
She shot it in the face.
Yeah, and then she hid.
Yes, that's true.
So she
That's
was
why
hidden.
you couldn't see her.
That's fine. Don't worry.
It was out of range anyway.
Yeah, that's no problems at all. So you are still hidden from this creature, unfortunately.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use Marksman again.
Yeah.
Better than that, please. No, 7
Oh my
twice.
goodness!
7 twice.
Twang! Yeah, you are no longer hidden, and the crossbow bolt goes flying over the head of the creature as it flees from you. Good lord, guys.
There you are.
Pog pops back into existence and then immediately...
Iris, you are... Iris, you are surrounded... you are surrounding Freya. There are 4 sorcerers who are marching by your side, kind of in and around the square that you're in.
Alright, well, I mean, if I have any movement, I'm going to be following.
Yeah, you can follow and just end up adjacent to it. That's not a problem at all. Neve,
That's what I'll do.
what's your plan?
I am completely exhausted. There's nothing I can do.
You have no mechanical stuff. What would you like to do? What would Neve like to do?
I would like to go and sit up against the wall and catch my breath and just try and...
Neve, the pixie dust, is that going to be of any... We need something here.
I don't know. This is not... It's not a corrupted well in the same way. We need to stop the chanting.
Take me a perception check, please.
Yeah.
On a natural 20, you say, we need to stop the chanting, and you see a crossbow bolt go flying, and then this horrible slithering creature with a sphincter-like mouth and half its face melted off, one of its eyes shuttered closed, is slithering along the ground, knocking two black triangles together and chanting as it comes around the corner over there. You can see it.
That, we need to stop that. I'm gonna shape water, a wave of hot water in this thing's face.
What's the range on shape water?
Oh, who knows?
30 feet. You can move up. You can move into it. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, please do.
30.
Yes.
Stagger over against the side.
What
of
is
the
your? Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Splash this thing with some scalding water.
Cool. It does not get out of the way in time. It takes some. All right. This creature is swamped up against the side of the building,
Oh wow.
but it does manage to hold on to its two black triangles that it's knocking together as it is, and it. It keeps chanting. This thing is dying and determined to finish its job. Neve, you have gone. We have Jorg, Iris, and Freya still to act.
I feel like I used my action last turn on the turn.
Cool.
Freya and Iris, it only feels fair. At this
You're
point.
closer. You should totally go
I
first.
have a shiny new sword.
You do?
Oh yeah.
I'm right next to this thing. As it gets hit up against the wall by Neve, I'm literally just going to try and smash it in the face with the sword.
Philip the snake.
Yeah, hit it.
Do it.
No.
Oh,
No.
what did you roll?
8. I rolled a 3.
It is
Roll
not.
a d20, right? And then you can d8.
Would you like to?
2 6s.
Since you do not know how your character,
And a
since
3.
you are new to D&D, you can take a bonus action to hide before you do this and give yourself advantage
Oh,
on the
yes.
roll. So
Yeah.
you take a second to step back. Try and hide for me.
That's cool.
20.
20, not natural. Freya appears to disappear in the mist, and which is not thick enough to do that.
Always roll twice. Always roll twice.
So that was
No, that was the second
second
attack.
roll. Second roll.
You swing round with the silvered blade, and roll me some damage.
What does silver blade? If I have sneak attack.
Yeah.
There's no one else to say
2,
extra.
5, 8.
That's enough.
That's
it.
11.
That's enough.
Yeah.
No, as in that's the you don't roll 3. You roll 3d6, not plus 3d6. So you roll d6 for the damage, and then it's actually more than that. Fine. How much do you do?
13.
13. You swing around with the silvered blade, and there's a chunk, and the creature's vile head rolls off of its body with a thud.
I'll kick it into the water.
You kick it into the water, and its one remaining good eye appears to leer out at you for a second before it sinks down. Please. That was very cool. Okay. The chanting has stopped.
I'd be really concerned if it hadn't.
The last stroke. The last stroke took the creature's head off. The chanting has stopped, and I think we are going to pause here for a quick break.
Could you roll me fucking 1, please?
Yes, indeed. All right, guys.
Did anybody level up just now?
Yes, they did.
We'll
So,
do it after the break.
I'll do it. I'll just yeah. Okay, we'll describe this now, and we'll
And then you
do
can
the mechanics
level up
in the break.
yeah.
Okay. So Freya, congratulations. You have gone to level 4. And mechanically, you went to level 4 by hiding in the mist like an absolute ninja. Continuing, this is what rogues do. They hide, go, I now have advantage, and murder. And you have gained the ability to hide in light obscurement, which is frankly absurd. Please go to level 4 and gain the Skulker feat, which lets you do that. Which seems like a pretty good...
Oh, that explains that.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't think Rogue's got hide in plain sight there.
No, it's not hiding in plain sight.
It's not hide in plain sight, but it is light.
There is, light obscurement, which is really good.
Anything you could... Oh, somebody can manipulate water around.
This is pretty amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Great. All right, guys. Yes, you have ascended to level 4. Wow, yes, we're going to take a short break and we will return.
Yeah,
It's going to happen.
it's going to happen. I can see it.
Okay.
Right, yes.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
So, for those of you who are new to the stream, I don't know, maybe you're out there, and are wondering, how did David manage to turn undead a water elemental? Let's talk a little bit about Josh's mythology.
Thank you.
So, kind of the theme of this campaign is that we are beginning to learn about what Josh refers to as powers. And these are sort of gods and demons and angels and elementals and probably some other stuff we haven't come across yet. But those are the things we've met. Iris has got like an angel thing going on. It's kind of the source of some of her sorceress powers. Oh, dragons, that's another one.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah. We've seen a depiction in the tomb of Lancelot of the gods as they then became fighting both angels and demons.
Yeah.
And we have come across dragons and elementals. So these are kind of the various sort of powers is the term. It's what's not mythical, but sort of almost divine. That kind of
like it's like
What's the word
Hogwarts
I'm
houses, but for primordial powers.
primordial is a really good word.
Who's
Actually.
Hufflepuff?
Although, well, it's really interesting because whatever the chanter thing was, unfortunately, we've now chucked its head in a boiling lake of sulfur. But whatever the chanting thing was, it pinged, but not in a way
Not
that
in a
we
way that
recognised.
so it was not an elemental. It was not
It's not a
dragon.
not
and
a
probably not a god. Probably.
because otherwise we would.
Unless I can.
We would all be dead.
Forever.
So this is a new thing. It's new. So that's why, and so the way that then Yorgs and general the paladin is a paladin of Elaine. He has got dominion. Don't know what you're talking about.
Wait a second.
What?
Okay, so Yorg gets his power from Elaine, which is from the gods. That
And then he's using
Gryffindor.
that turn thing is is against power. It's turn power rather than turn undead.
Oh, cool.
Is how Josh is using that particular. Yeah.
And
within
I
this
get
setting.
my power from
I'm guessing
elementals. That seems reasonable. I have this connection with the
I
elemental
mean, it's
thing
possible, like the Fae, maybe, but
Fae,
it's
maybe.
more likely elementals, I suspect.
But you get your power from two sources.
Don't know what you're talking about. Angels.
And dragons.
Angels.
Uh-huh.
What evidence have you got? I get any power from dragons?
An individual doesn't have to draw their magic from one house of power exclusively.
Maybe sorcerers are weird,
Okay.
or
So
you know.
the sorcerer is a special trope.
I've talked to Josh about, did I want to cross-class into Warlock, because he thinks that there's really good cross, and I'm like, sure, fine, whatever, but that would require, like, some demons to be around, and I think that's kind of how you would mechanically draw power from demons, is you would take levels of Warlock in with the particular patron that fitted, or if you wanted to draw, so I could draw levels directly from the gods and maybe take some levels in Cleric. I think the kind of Sorcerer is kind of the catch-all bucket. Where does this power come from? I don't know, but it goes into a sorcerer. So if you're getting it from those sources, then there are various features of, because there is a draconic sorcerer subclass as well as this divine soul which I'm playing, and
So I wonder what the Brouter are tapping into with their rune
that's
work.
the really interesting question, isn't it? Where does Brouter magic come from?
Does Brouter magic
Chat,
appear?
where does Brouter magic come from?
Racism. That's it. They're tapping into the deep elemental powers of racism.
Make whatever this
Amy,
continent
maybe
is.
describe how
created
Brouter
in.
magic works.
I don't really know.
They draw runes.
Yeah,
And
so-
then they become words.
So Brouter magic, in theory, does the same kind of stuff that Druid magic does, or that like other classes of magic do, but they do it. We've seen it with the Lady Amelia from Crassos. That what they do is they do it by drawing runes either on surfaces or in the air, and that's how the spells are activated. And yeah, I'm sure there's more going on with this because the Istalian druids don't agree with the way that the Brouter are doing magic, or maybe don't understand it, don't understand how this could... I don't know. This is a thing we would need to double check with Josh, because it's definitely a thing that Need would be aware of, probably. And I don't know. I just kind of get the idea that Browser magic is rude. Yeah, no, but it's like as a druid, like it's all about. It's not just about sort of clicking your fingers and going do the thing. You have to live a certain way. You have to have the lifestyle. You have to be respectful of the land that you're moving through and the things that you're doing. Whereas Browsers, it's like, I will draw a rune and then this thing will do my bidding. And Browser magic is powered by swearing. Yes, there we go. But I don't know. I'm really speculating here. Maybe I should know. Maybe I didn't pay enough attention in Druid school. But yeah. I would like to see more Browser magic. This is a thing that, as a player, I am interested in. Oh. Hello? Who's back? Yeah.
Where did we get to?
Browser magic is powered by swearing.
Okay, yeah, that's in high Browser.
Yes.
That totally works. Yeah, Browser magic is wizard. If you're a wizard, you are a Browser magician. Sorry.
Browser is to beer as druid is to mushrooms. Sure.
I'm not sure I understand, but sure. Sorry, so you've gained a level.
Yes.
As part of that, because it's level 4, and again this is a hack Josh has put in, you get both a stat bump and a feat. The feat you know about, the Skulk feat, but you get 2 +1s to your stats, so long as they don't take anything to 20. Or you can have to the same one, so you can have +2 or 2 +1s.
And the amount you plus or minus.
So this is changing your main number, which may affect your modifier.
And your modifier changes on even numbers?
On evens, yeah.
So, and I can have +1s for different things.
You can have 2 +1s or 1 +2. Whichever seems better for you. And you will also gain some hit points. So you're a D8 hit points, so you gain 5, plus your con modifier. Which if you bump your con modifier up, and then if you bump up your con and then your con modifier changes, you get retroactive hit points for previous levels.
Oh.
I'm not going to do that though, because I
Okay. Let's tell chat what you're doing. What are you doing?
So my HP, my total maximum health goes to 31.
So it's gone up by 7?
Yes.
Because you have +2 in your con.
Yes. I'm going to add 1 to my dexterity, which brings me to 18.
Lovely. So you're now into a +4.
+4 for my dex.
So for your
Oh,
attack,
nice.
for your attack stats, they've all gone up by 1.
Yeah, and I end up rolling dex like 80 times a session. So I don't know. I always have a mixture now between I want my character to be able to actually do stuff, but also I don't want to metagame. Or the metagame is minimum amount possible.
But you also want your character to be effective.
Yeah, it's about finding ways of making the metagaming
Yeah.
weave narratively in with what else is going on.
Freya has been doing a lot of flipping.
Yeah.
So I think dexterity getting
Okay,
better
so that's
makes
+1.
sense.
What else are you going to bump by 1?
Oh, chat says, take the perfect recall feat and make the GM cry when they try to recall irrelevant facts from 3 sessions ago. Oh, which is even funnier because we record these sessions, so you could be like, I have it here, you're wrong.
I think Freya is doing a lot less stupid stuff.
Oh, is your wisdom going up?
She's learned a lot of lessons, and her wisdom is going to increase by 1 as well.
That's exciting.
So she now has +1 wisdom.
Freya is becoming more responsible.
Oh. Okay.
It's a trap.
Let's not trigger the trap.
Freya has grown. Freya would not do that anymore.
I will get one of my underlings to trigger the trap. Okay.
The very fact that you didn't immediately open all the chests.
Yeah. It took willpower
That's completely
for
forgot
both
about
Freya and me as the player not to just open the chests.
That is a really good comment from chat. I don't think metagaming is bad in and of itself. It's only bad if you make it more important than your character's in-character choices. Absolutely. Thank you, Lily.
Josh, just
really
I find social metagaming more offensive than I do tactical
social metagaming.
when you're when you've heard somebody say something and you act on that, like the roleplay metagaming, I have more of a problem with. Hello, Jack. I have more of a problem with roleplay metagaming.
If I'd have gone, oh, I'm just going to wander over here because I think yours might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wrong. But there's also a thing about metagaming in, like, if you have a, well, you know what? This is a great conversation for self and after dark. So
Unless you have better things you want us to talk about, Jack. If you have a particular topic you want us to talk about after that, we had a really good conversation last week about first
from
time
a
GMing.
suggestion
It was
chat.
really good.
So
really
have a
good.
think and let us know as and when.
Drop it in the chat to remind yourself, and then tell us again at the end of the session.
And we are back. Have you successfully leveled?
I believe so.
Fantastic.
Freya has +1 dexterity,
Sorry, you're right,
so she has +4. She's +1 wisdom, so
Okay.
she goes from 0 to +1,
Okay,
and
sweet.
she now has 31 HP max.
Amazing. Thank you very much. The waters are bubbling but have subsided
Oh, thank
now.
God.
Yorg is going to.
Hold on, guys. It wasn't a TPK, and it could have been.
You really could have been.
Yorg is going to stagger and is just in a heap in this corner here. Just
The map's not on screen because we're just chatting now.
just sat on the floor, just breathing heavily, and I'm just gonna be there for a bit.
Sure. Yorg slumps down against a corridor. Against a column.
Neve is going to supporting herself against the side of the building. She's going to come around past Yorg and into the temple space to see what's happened with the water elemental.
Okay. The water elemental is now once again part of the water, but it is not surging up and attacking you.
Okay. How does it feel?
You reach in towards it. The water elemental. You are in a holy place, and you can commune with this. In fact, you can feel. Your druid senses are going like crazy, and
Needs whoop sense.
well, you can you use druidcraft. This is one of the things that druidcraft is for. It is for interacting with holy spaces, and you can feel that this place has been desecrated. It is the water elemental is no longer filled with rage. It is merely filled with sorrow. It is sort of permanently crying.
Oh God.
Which for a water elemental, that's a lot of tears.
Neve
The
is
steam has cleared a little bit in the area. It is not so hot in here anymore.
Neve is going to sit down at the edge of the water, and I have no spell slots
I know.
left. I am on 1 hit point, and I am going to try. Like Neve is going to try and put some good magic into this well, and she can't do it, and it's so exhausting. But she knows it's the right thing to do, and Neve is going to sit there on the edge of the water, and she's going to cry at the fact that she can't fix this.
All right, Neve. As your tears land in the water, there is a little bloom, 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 and little ripples of white come out from your tears, and the water elemental stills and rises up in front of you. Bits of it are trembling, and there's little bits of foam and spray and steam rolling off of it. And it reaches its arms out in great waves, and it wraps them around you and embraces you. Would you like to please recover all your hit points, go to level 4,
Oh yeah!
and yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Have you fixed all
You gain all your hit points.
Okay. I was going to say, if
And the reason you gain all your hit points is because the creature is sharing some of the essence of the well with you.
Oh wow.
When it's holding you, what you see is that written in steam, coming up from the pool, is a message in Druidic, and it shows you as you read the images. This is how Druidic works in my game. It shows you as you read the images, it's sitting on its watery throne, and opposite it, looking lovingly, a huge conflagration, a creature made entirely of fire that is sat on the throne, and there is a clear sense of union, of bonding, and of marriage between these two creatures. They lived here in harmony, they dwelled here, and it shows you an image, and you see people in the sauna up above, you see robed figures moving things down, putting some of them in the chests on one side. You see some of these robed figures carving on the wall. Now you see the wall, it is a beautiful painting of a union of a fire and a water elemental. And cut into the carving is an area where a pendant can hang, and you see that the pendant on the water elemental in the carving is still there, and it is hanging, and on the end of it is a little ring with a green stone set into it. The pendant on the fire elemental is no longer there. Cool. And it weeps once more.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold space with this water elemental for a bit, and I'm gonna with whatever kind of connection it is that we have.
You can speak to it with Druidcraft.
Oh, amazing. Then I'm gonna use my Druidcraft to show the water elemental Hollyhock back home, and show her the well that's there, and show her the partner that I used to have, who I don't have anymore.
She's very pleased by this. No, she says to you, I'm going to use words now. It's not exactly words, but you can communicate. She says, I feel your pain, child. You have suffered as I suffer. My husband was taken from me, and I would do anything to have him back. He is not gone. If he were, my broken heart would heal. But he has been taken and is being held, bound, captive, and I can do nothing of it. My pain was twisted and warped within me. I know not what by. They nearly used the power of this well to wreak untold damage. We must not let that happen again. And I would like my husband back. And she goes silent for a time.
Mm-hmm.
What's everyone else doing?
Freya is playing around with her new sword, trying to see if it feels right. And does it look magical, or is it just a fancy?
The sword is plated in a gleaming silver. This is an incredibly nice sword. It is of a make that you do not know.
What like archetype of sword is it? Short sword?
This is effectively it is a short sword. But
Proficient.
yeah, but the well, I'll tell you exactly. This is, now that you look at it properly, this is a katana.
Ooh.
So, and it is a silvered katana. Silvered is important. Some creatures need weapons that are silver to hurt them. It is a masterwork silvered katana. You've never seen a katana before. Maybe they're all this incredible. This one is
So is
particularly
it two-handed or is it one-handed?
fancy. You can wield it two-handed or
versatile.
one-handed. It is a versatile light weapon.
Nice.
It is a longsword, stats, that is light. So you can use it for two-hand fighting, you can use it for sneak attack, it's pretty great.
Get +1 to hit with it.
You also get
Masterwork +1.
It is a masterwork +1. All masterwork items are +1.
Is it masterwork? Is +1 to damage as well, or is that the enchantment that gives you +1 to damage?
No, it's a masterwork item. I will give you the stats for this item after the session. We'll work out and we'll make sure that on your character sheet it says exactly what all your weapons do, so we don't have any maths in session.
Iris is more interested in the creature.
Take a level in having the shit hunted out of you by Gith Yankee, says
I prefer the take a level in weeb comment, if I'm entirely honest.
Okay, the creature. Yeah, you go and have a look at it. This thing is nasty. It smells now that you're close enough to interact with it.
There's Pog when you need him.
I don't know, Freya.
Where is Pog
Pog?
when you need him?
I say to myself.
I understand that. Pog does not appear.
I'm just gonna go and put my hand on your shoulder.
It had a couple of black things in its hands.
It did.
What are they?
These are carved runic pyramids. They are little. They've got silver edges. They're like D4. They are black D4 with silver glyphs on them and silver metal edges to them. So like D4 in a little prism. And
What are they made of? Stone?
they're made of. These things are made of the same kind of
That's
stone
what I wondered.
that your things are made out of. They are also. Yes, that's what you get from it.
Okay. I'm going to take those from the.
Oh, give me these.
Lock them together. You have a D8.
Reaching down to pick up the things. Can you please make me? No, nothing. It's fine. You pick up the 2 black triangles.
Designed by Sylvester Stallone.
No. Yes, you pick up the black triangles. You have them now. They feel. You pick them up and you can feel a magic within them.
Can Iris now shoot black triangles from her eyes?
Not yet. Next level. That's next level. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. You picked these up. They feel strange. I think the word for them is exactly as I used before. Alien.
Okay, good. Is it wearing? It's not wearing clothes, is it?
No. This thing is. It's really gross. It's the upper body of Jeff Goldblum from The
scales?
Fly, and the lower body of a horrible pink thing. It doesn't have scales. It's like an earthworm thing. Yeah, it's really nasty.
Huh.
And its head is no longer there.
Yes.
Its arms are not. I mean, they're kind of proportioned like humans, but they're bulky and bestial. It has 3 claws on each wrist. That's why it was doing this, because it's only got 3 claws.
Okay. And this guy over here, he's dead. Yes.
He is dead. You can go and have a look.
His face has exploded.
Yeah, so his nose,
Hard to
the
survive.
nasal cavity has completely blown up. And there is a lump of pink goo on the floor. Well, in fact, there's lots of pink giblets on the floor. This guy, now that you look at him closely and the steam isn't quite so severe, is dressed in garb you've never seen before.
Are there any insignias or?
If there are, they are long since faded away. But what he is wearing is so the armor on this person is banded plate, but made out of a thick wood, and it's painted. So it's like lacquered painted wood. It's wearing a light cloth in a long kind of robe underneath the armor, which is tied around the middle with a bow.
And any satchels or?
No.
They had a weapon, a sword and a shield.
It had a sword and a shield, and it's also like covered in burns and scars.
Is the sword another silvered sword, or is it?
The sword on this creature is not a silver sword, no.
Okay. And does it look unusual at all? The sword, or is it just
The sword. It is another katana.
It is another katana.
Yes.
Hand over to
Nice.
Oh no, another level in weave. Freya suddenly gets really big eyes.
Freya, you have acquired another katana. You can feel that this one is just, it's not as nice as the
Oh, I'll
silver
chuck
one.
it in the water.
Bye! Okay, cool. The katana lands with a poosh and sinks.
Freya is going to make her way to the entranceway
Okay.
and just motion towards the chests.
Freya,
You know.
as you walk past Yorg,
Mhm.
I want you to make me a performance check, please.
I can have a fun performance. I haven't passed it. 12.
12. Yorg, you do not notice the double take that Freya does, but Yorg's face is really badly scarred. He has got red markings down almost, well, not quite one half of his face, but in a twisting curl along one side, and you can see out under his armour, he has the same on one arm and one leg. This is where he landed heavily in the water and was pulled down. It is red and raw and looks like a Burns victim.
Are you okay?
Still alive. Can make sure Neve's okay.
Okay. I'll go to Neve and just say,
Neve is surrounded by water elemental.
Help! I can't breathe.
hello, water.
It's alright.
You might need some healing. And are we allowed to touch the chests?
So I'm going to convey to the water elemental
Our Luke Goblin wants some fat Luke.
the members of my group
More fat.
and the fact that we are very injured. And
You can
is there
show
any-
with Druidcraft the battle you've just had.
Mhm. And is there anything that she could do to help us?
Please enter and be restored.
Okay. Bring everyone. Come on into the water.
Okay. Come inside, everybody.
You are called.
And I will ask with a question mark about what the chests are.
And the chests, she says, they have been unopened for some time. They are where the priests who used to tend this temple kept their things.
Maybe look.
Of course. The water elemental has nothing but gratitude towards you. She still has a deep well of sorrow within her, but gratitude is the prime expression.
But we didn't attack her.
She might not be too happy with me though.
You didn't attack her? No, you did not.
She might not be too happy with me though.
Who did you attack?
No, he turned.
You turned. Oh, that's fine. So, are you all heading in?
Yes.
Great.
Yep.
As you come down the steps.
York is going to stay where he is for a moment.
Okay. So
Zyrus goes past. She bolts it. The side in front. Your guy, Neve asked us to.
Yeah,
Come inside.
I'll be there in a second.
Okay.
cool. So those of you that enter, suddenly this feels a much nicer place. You can get the same kind of vibe as you got at the previous wells. This is a holy space, and as you step down, the water is pleasantly warm, not scalding anymore. And if you are willing to walk down the steps which lead into the pool, then you will regain all your hit points.
Yeah. I'll be a bit tentative.
Sweet. You walk down the steps into the pool, and you restore all of your hit points. The waters are warm, the steam cleanses your skin, and you feel yourselves buoyed up and refreshed by the revitalizing waters. The water elemental, again, now she's understanding exactly what you've done, and she says, "Thank you. I do not know how I can ever repay you."
Freya's like, he's an itemised bill.
Sounds like JK, you will boil.
This over here, this is the artwork.
Yes.
And so now you talked about pendants before,
Yes,
and so there's one hanging here and one missing here.
that is correct. Exactly so.
Okay.
The water elemental is appearing and reappearing and disappearing in and out of the water.
Is Freya spotted the pendant?
Yeah. It looks important.
Freya, there is a gold ring on a silver chain.
Oh, it's
With
only
a-
gold.
On a silver chain with a green gem set in it. It looks magic.
Magic.
Josh,
Yes.
does it look familiar to anything that Freya's seen before?
I've seen common gems at least.
So I'm going to say that is actually, considering how Freya has interacted with the world so far, something for Zoe to decide and remember on her own.
Fine. Sorry,
That's fine.
I mean, yes. Well, so she might not know exactly what it is. She's definitely just nicked a whole bunch of jewels from different nobles who've been visiting on many occasions.
Okay. You know what?
And
Fine.
then dispensed them.
Freya, please roll me a
History?
remember what? Yeah, okay. Roll me a history check, like a really recent history check.
16.
16. This ring looks almost identical to the one that Lord Bucks wore around his neck.
Can we have the ring?
that was the noise I said earlier. That was the noise I made earlier. I was desperately trying to not say anything.
Can we have the ring?
It's like what Lord Box was wearing.
In Druidic, I'm going to say, did they use the other pendant against your partner?
She says, her spirit darkens. The water heats a little bit, and she says, "My husband, his spirit is bound inside his pendant. It has been taken from him, and he is a slave to his new master who has taken it."
You can't touch that ring. You can look in the chests and take anything you want, but you can't touch that ring.
Okay, I'm going to go open all the chests.
Okay.
Die instantly.
The chests
Roll
are
them.
locked. You need to pick them. You don't need to roll for this. There's no time pressure
I've
here.
got
You're
my
not going to
thing.
fail. But my point is that they are locked. There are no keys around,
Yeah.
so you do manage to get the locks open. I'll tell you what's inside in a second. Yes, York. Sitting outside. I don't want to go in.
York is going to take a moment to try and put the Axe of Lancelot down. Look at his own hand, realizing that in white-knuckled grip he is seemingly not. Will take his other hand and peel his hand open and put the axe on the ground.
Gross.
So how was your day today?
It's without the axe in his hand.
Without the axe in your hand, you say, "How was your day today?" Honestly, it's not been great.
I can empathise. Can I talk to her, please? I will ask you nicely. I would just really appreciate talking to her, if you would be so kind.
It does seem like rather the decent thing to do. Certainly would be a cruel and capricious creature who would deny someone that. I tell you what, if you really ask me nicely, then yes, you can. You just have to repeat after me. I
Is it?
yeah, you said I hereby swear
ask you, Garlon, what was it you said? Garlon the Benevolent, to please allow me to talk to Elaine.
persuasion check
Versus deity.
versus Dave.
No. Not on a 3. I mean, that's still like a. Oh no, I've got I'm trained in persuasion. Of course I am. So that's like an 8.
An 8?
Yeah, I know.
8's not bad.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, it is,
it's,
but
it's not the worst. Very nice. Thank you. I needed that. Like I said, it's been a long and difficult day. I could tell you about it, but I shan't.
that seems reasonable.
Shame about the face.
I guess.
You can't trust that creature in there, you know.
Maybe not, but others will, and it's for them to decide at the moment.
I mean, you can't trust me either.
Oh, that. Thank you for your time. Old Leah, familiar voices, comfort all the same. I hope your day improves. I'll pick the axe up and go back inside.
Oh, thank you.
Where's York?
I'm going to stumble him around the
He
corner.
said he'd be in a minute.
I'm going to stumble him around
York
the corner.
appears
Oh,
looking
York,
like
by all the gods.
He looks. This is a great suggestion from chat. He looks like the Hound from Game of Thrones right now.
Love it.
York, you need to come into the water.
Uh-huh. Well, it's not as if this can get any worse. I'm gonna
past
stumble down the steps
Freya.
into the water. I'm gonna
Another one.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the elemental, and I'm gonna go and sit in this corner with my back to the wall.
Yorg walks into the water. As you do, Yorg, you feel the warmth run up your legs. You are suffused with a healing energy, and the steam covers you. For a moment, Yorg appears almost entirely covered in steam, and it wafts around him, and you can't make out his form at all. As he comes out of the steam, you can see that his hair has been cleaned, the grime is out of his armour, and his horribly scarred face is still very visible. Please gain all your hit points back.
There is something we could ask for some help with.
Yes.
York's armour is at the bottom of that water.
That's true. I'll ask the water elemental. There is armor at the bottom of the lake outside. Can you sense that? Could you bring it to us?
Certainly. Of course. Of course. Please. There is a lot of armour at the bottom of the lake outside.
Huh.
I will bring it. There's suddenly sort of raining suits of +5 chainmail. So the water, you see a couple of surges of water come out. They're very targeted. In fact, you probably don't see them because you're all in the thing. You hear there's a and some things are appearing on the side.
You're just gonna sit in here for a minute because it's actually quite nice in here.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Thank you. I'll go and have a look in a second. I just need to sit.
Is there anything made of this stone? If there's lots of people who've died in there.
I can ask.
My powers are diminished without my husband, but I can. Feminism, but but I can feel the length and breadth of the Ellesmere up to the very edge of the Lake of Tears. Ask me what you would.
Tyndall.
You are gaining the benefits of a level 5 commune with nature ritual.
Okay.
Tyndall.
You can ask loads of questions about the Ellesmere. Anything you need to know.
Is Tyndall on the Ellesmere, or if he's not there, like when was he in it last?
You show her pictures of Tyndall, and there's a Neve who is touching the water. The water around her glows, and the water element says, Tyndall was in the Ellesmere. He was swept out in my madness. He was picked up on a boat. He was taken, and she shows you, Tyndall was taken, where are we going? East along the Ellesmere in a boat. Here is the map. Just hold it, put it over the thing. Down, wrong camera. Keep going, look, there we go. So they are currently, the party are currently here, and she says, Tyndall was taken east along the Ellesmere. East, be this way.
Okay.
Can she track that boat?
She says Tyndall was picked up and taken east along the Ellesmere. She can't tell exactly where it is now. There's too many boats there. But Tyndall is east of your current location.
Okay.
On the Ellesmere. Still on the Ellesmere.
Still on the Ellesmere.
Right now.
Tyndall is on the Ellesmere right now.
Can the water speed us along?
I could send you that way, yes.
Yes.
Please.
We would need to go back up to the boat.
Okay, I don't give a shit about these chests.
In fairness, you had opened those chests and were looking inside them before this happened.
true,
And that
you
was
opened the
interrupted
chests.
by me, so I
That's fine.
apologise for that, but it's definitely a thing with you.
The chests have inside them several ceramic jars and pots. There are some clothes that have really mulched away. They look like priestly robes. And the ceramic jars and pots contain, you look at them, nasty smelling unguents. And it looks like oils and spices and poultices and potions and that kind of thing.
Sounds like something for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I will stock up my medicine supplies.
Sweet, these are really potent.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, these oils, the water elemental says they are made with the salves that you rub on to heal wounds. Please gain some healing potions if you would like to take them.
Yes.
I was going to say,
very
you
much.
should probably fill up water skins as well.
You can fill your water skins. As you unstopper your water skin, the water elemental says, I am sorry, this well is injured by my sadness. I must stay, but until my husband is restored, this well will not be whole. Please, if you find them, please bring them back.
We will.
I will give you anything I can. You all, Neve, you have the equivalent of, 8 healing potions that do 2d4 plus 4.
Nice. Thank you very
They are
much.
salves, they take an action to apply.
Amazing.
Okay.
We haven't seen Colcarel, have we?
We're...
Is there anything else I can...
Can she see the Hallow from the river?
Do you know where the Hallow of Elaine is?
Yes. I would not head there.
Why not?
It is the Hallow of Elaine.
And that's bad?
I'm glad I can't understand any of this.
Elaine. Elaine is one of the destroyers.
I see. One of the destroyers.
Yes. I would not go there.
Thank you. You can sense the whole of the river.
Yes.
Is there anything like this? And I want to show her an image of the trident.
She recoils a little and says, yes. Yes, I can sense it. It is in a box. It was swept into the river and recovered by, and she shows you a picture of Lord Bucks and some of his men.
Right.
Very efficient.
In fact, it isn't Lord Bucks who's pulling it out of the river, because it wouldn't be. Shows you a picture of 2 Browther soldiers who are pulling the box out of the river, and there is a dwarf with flaming hair overseeing it.
Right. I think the Trident is probably an old town. Or if it's not an old town, it's with the dwarf with the flaming hair. Which is not necessarily a great thing.
It's not great, but I think he's not going to be controlled by it.
Josh,
You'd hope.
what's the clock at the moment at for the Wolf Moon?
For the Wolf Moon,
Yeah.
it is today. Am I correct in this how this works? You have a new moon, and then like 2 weeks later you have a full moon, and then 2 weeks later you have a
So,
So
new moon.
it is the new Wolf Moon tonight.
So it's 2 weeks until the
2 weeks until the full moon.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay, sorry. We had less time than that last time I checked. It's fine.
No, we had like 3 weeks.
No, I thought it was a week last time I
No,
checked.
it was
No,
about
we've
it
got
is
time.
now
We have time.
it is
We-
2 weeks.
we
It's the
have
new
time.
Wolf Moon today.
Okay, so
For the benefit of
We-
the chat, we're meeting Corcorel to destroy her and take her back to her brother
we
in 2 weeks.
need to. Tyndall's alive and further east down the Ellesmere.
We need to go.
Yes, east is
Please.
Tyndall and the Hallow of Elaine.
Mm.
West is the Trident, and I think the Fire Elemental.
No, west is the Trident and Fire Elemental.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Tyndall can wait because the longer we take, the further he gets away from us, and we
need
owe
to
it
find
we owe it to at least get him back to Krassos.
We need to find him.
I mean, we're in the middle of Blacktooth or territory now, if that map is anything to go on. Jorg's gonna come out of his funk a bit. He's gonna set to. He's gonna.
Are there any other areas we should have
Pull
avoided
himself
apart
back
from the
together.
Hollow of Elaine?
He's gonna put the axe in his belt and go outside and see
Think
what
where
armor has
where
been
be
brought out.
danger?
You'll head outside and have a look, and you can see that in a pile
Mhm.
there are. In fact, the first thing you see is a crab. It is a giant orange crab.
Is it a friend now?
And it is picking over some of the corpses that have been dragged out and just nibbling away and kind of tearing bits off these
I'm
things.
just gonna look at the crab and go, like, you do you, I'll do me. I'm not gonna bother the crab. I'm just gonna see what armor's around.
Sweet. You see that there are a lot of the armor is really rusted, like really, really rusted and ancient and old and probably no good. The armor that has fallen in most recently, there are 5 sets of armor.
Okay.
One is the chainmail that was in a bag that has been recovered.
Hey.
There is a suit of studded leather.
Yep.
There is a suit of chainmail.
Yep.
And there is 2 suits of chainmail, and there is a suit of plate mail, all of which
Yeah.
have insignia on it, which take me a history check, please.
Lovely. Ooh, I managed to get that in.
It is 12. It is Broughter insignia. It's from somewhere in the Southern Lands. You don't know where it is. That's
Hey Freya, didn't you say your armor got fucked by the
Yes.
blob monster? There's some more out here.
Nice. It's
So,
gonna become loot.
Josh,
yes.
query.
Freya, take me a history check. Recent history.
Like
With
15
advantage?
minutes ago.
17.
17. There is the crest of a leaping stag, which is the one of the noble houses down in
That's where Bucks was from. isn't
Metria.
it?
That is where Bucks is from.
I'm going to put it up
Josh,
and refresh my armor so I get
I-
my 15 armor plus back.
Correct.
hopefully.
Yes.
I, David, know that plate mail is very, very tailored to who it's built for.
That is correct. It is.
That and that is the case in this reality as well as.
Yes, it is.
Right. Okay. In that case, the plate mail is useless to me, and I pick up my chainmail.
Sure.
'Cause-
It's still worth money. It's just really heavy. Like if you wanted to drag it back,
Presumably you could get it tailored.
you could potentially get it refitted. Yes.
Neve, are we going to be able to cross this water without trouble?
To the water elemental. Where did the monster come from that was casting a spell on you?
Came from the. It pauses for a moment. It can do this. This is exactly what the spell is for. Yep. Okay. Originally, it came from the stars. But more recently, it came from the world below. There is an opening. Let me show you.
Okay.
And there is, in the waters of the lake outside, there is a bubbling and a pathway clears to the giant platform the crab was standing on.
Yeah.
And you can see, well, if you go over to the giant platform and have a look, the water's up, then when you get there, you can see that there is a fissure that leads down into the earth.
Wow.
Oh, that looks terrifying.
There may be more.
And did you say this thing came from there?
Yes. Can we do anything to close it?
Pray with me, Druid.
Okay.
Buy her a drink first.
The water elemental closes its eyes, and you see, firstly, your vision is filled with water, and you feel the sense of it around you. You feel the blood in your veins and the sweat on your skin. Then you feel the fire inside you, the heat coming from your body. Then you feel the air in your hair and the breath in your lungs, and finally, you feel the earth underneath. Hang on. How many hit points do you have left?
I wasn't trying to distract.
That's fine.
That was why I was doing it silently. I apologise.
That's all right. You feel the... you gain the shape water cantrip. The shape earth cantrip. That's what you gain. You gain the mold earth cantrip as your level 4 cantrip. That's what you gain. There we go. Gain it.
Thank you.
That's all right. And she says, I give to you the gift of earth.
Oh, so you can now.
Yeah, I'm gonna step up to this and I'm guessing looking inside. It's just dark.
Really
right?
dark.
Iris, would you come and tell me what you see?
What am I if I see?
Okay, Iris, you look down. Perception check. It's really dark. Okay.
7.
So 7's not terrible. Okay, so you look and you can see that there is a series
can I get
of
guidance on that?
there is because you were told to do it. So roll a d4. You can see there is a series of handholds and footholds 10 that lead down into this place. It's wide enough that you can go maybe 2 abreast in some places. There are spaces and abilities necessary to climb, and there's a smooth rut that has been worn up. Clearly things do come up and down here. There is also the faint smell of jasmine.
I relay this. Yeah. So
you can also smell the jasmine.
Maybe I don't know, it'd be good to block the stairs somehow.
I think I can do that now. I'm going to try and do mold earth.
Sweet. This is unworked earth. You cover the ground over. There's a rumbling, and you guys see Iris moves her hands, and you guys see Neve moves her hands, and the pathway, he starts at the bottom, and it fills in and closes up. The ground that you're standing on rumbles a little bit because you've just moved some of the earth around, and so there's a couple of patches and the ground shakes for a second, and then it's still.
Okay. I think that's worked.
That was cool.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
I'm just going to highlight, although I really wish I wouldn't. I am walking around with Lancelot's axe.
Volume, sorry.
Sorry, I am walking around with Lancelot's axe on my belt and or in my hand.
I know.
Okay, cool. As long as that is. I wondered if the.
That's fine. But everything changed when the Fire Nation.
York will. Neve, is the water elemental able to help us across the? Is it able to cut us a path across the lake so that I can?
Well, we have a boat.
No.
Oh, no, across this lake.
Across this.
Oh.
Can we have safe passage out?
Of course you may. And child, go with blessings.
Thank you.
The water pots for you guys, and with that mystical noise, the water pots for you guys, And she turns and says, "Can you return my children to me?"
Your children?
And she moves a blob of water
Oh,
that is slightly. She can differentiate it from the rest of the water. She moves a blob of water up and it becomes a sphere.
yes. Yes, I can. I'm going to, create mist.
Sure. And the steam methods that were coalesced into a blob, 10 of them appear and immediately start flying into and out the other side of the pool of water and their water elemental mother.
Yup, yup.
I'm going to put my mail back on.
Sweet.
And I'm going to put this plate in the same bag that my mail was in.
Hang on, this female water elemental was messed around with an earth elemental at some point. There was a mud method.
There was.
Hmm.
And she gave Neve the gift of Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
That's a thing that happened.
Mm.
You can explore that. Ask me if you ask.
This would not have occurred to Iris.
No.
Okay.
We need to go?
The elemental can guide us to Tyndall, yeah? Can push us in his direction.
Yes.
Okay, then let's go and recover him before badness occurs.
Okay, you make your way out of the steam-filled cavern. You cross with no problems. The crab is kept aside from you. The water does not burn you, and you make your way up into the sauna. And the mist seems to part in front of you. You make your way back out, where you emerge into the bright light of day, and you stagger for a second. Jorg, it is slow going because of the pain that you are feeling. Yeah. Iris, there is a nasty taste in your mouth from the dragon breath that you breathed.
Prestidigitation.
Neve, there is a constant throbbing that you're getting, a sort of a pull into Old Town, and you feel the wrong that has been committed here really deeply within you. And Freya, you are having fun with your shiny silver sword, yo! And that is where we are going to leave this session. Thank you very much, everybody, for sticking with us. Chat, you've been wonderful as always. If you have enjoyed this, then you can catch all of our previous episodes over on YouTube, link below, and you can join us every week at twitch.tv/sellpengm. 8 o'clock, Thursdays. We'll see you there, and keep rolling them dice. Bye-bye!
Farewell from the present!
Okay.